Most people don't connect marriage and pageants, but after 3 years today with my lovely husband, I learned something that changed everything about how I prep and why I win. If pageant prep feels like pressure, performance, or people pleasing, I'm about to show you in this video why that's a massive red flag and how marriage actually helped me fix it. If you're new here, welcome to the Powerhouse Podcast. I am your host, Coach Megan Rhodes, and we help people win their pageants easily, effectively, and effortlessly while having more fun and helping you fund your pageants. If you're interested in how to do any of those things, the link to our 2 courses are below of exactly how to do that more quickly than anywhere else in the market. In fact, at the time of this video, just a month ago, I actually blew up my entire $500,000 a year coaching business because I believe in this new model and this new course so much. I am just honored to get to help thousands rather than just hundreds of people through this method, and I want you to be next. So if you have been, like I said, stressing or feeling like pageant prep has been in this pressure cooker of performance and people pleasing and this roller coaster of I'm super motivated and I'm super disappointed and I don't know who I am outside of pageants, or if you just need the tactical stuff, literally, this course is going to change your life. So we'll talk more about that at the end. Let's get into it today. So first, what are the 3 big problems that I have seen having coached 473 winners personally, and also coached thousands and thousands of women over the last 10 years. So the 3 biggest problems are that also correlate to marriage is number 1, when people try to control everything, okay? As your resident neighborhood friendly Enneagram 8, and as the CEO of 10 years, I like to control things, okay? Now, this is why I married a very, very, very amazing masculine man, because I did not want to be the man in the relationship. That was not cute for me, okay? I wanted a godly, alpha, incredible man, which is what I have. So shout out to my boo, Landon, because he's amazing, okay? And he really taught me that I don't have to control everything. Control is actually a sign of fear. So if you have been obsessing over the plan and your answers and your body and your walk and your image, that control can actually really choke your confidence. I'm going to move my mic a little bit closer. That control can actually really choke your confidence. And here's the other thing. It kills connection. How do I know this? Because I've lived with a person for 3 years, okay? So like in marriage, controlling everything kills connection. And in pageants, it can kill connection. It can kill presence. If you are holding so tightly onto something, I want to see if I have anything near me. Not really. But if I'm holding on so tightly to something, did you guys ever have those little like blobby things that you could stick your fingers through as a child? Am I dating myself? Is that only a 90s kid thing? They were these like glooby globby things that were so cool. And you'd literally like stick your finger in it and it'd go and it would like poop out of the top. Anyways, it's kind of like that. The thing that you're trying to hold on to is eventually actually going to away from you because like you literally can't control everything. It's actually in the letting go that tide, that blessing can actually come back and good things can come to you in the same way that in the kingdom we give and we receive. The Bible says you sit at the end of the table and God elevates you to the top of the table, right? Now, if we've had drama, trauma, these different things going on in our lives, of course, those things through our life experience can make it harder to not want to control everything. And then other personalities are too laissez-faire and they need to find a little bit more of that chutzpah and that grit and speaking up for yourself and finding your voice, right? So to make a long story short, high achievers and people that win in life, which I consider faith, family, your future, which is like your career, your fitness, your friendships, all those kinds of things, are people that are able to see the ditch on both sides of most things. So too controlling, not controlling enough, or too laissez-faire, right? And they can look at scenarios taking a step back and ask themselves, like, what does healthy look like? What would a healthy person do in this situation, right? Because if I am secure that I don't need to fill up every room. I don't have to talk all the time. I don't have to be the loudest one. I'm going to fill that situation with what is most appropriate. And that is really what marriage has taught me as well, because my husband is also an Enneagram 8. He is a very strong person. He's a bit more of a 9 wing than me. So he's more chill, and he's the opposite Myers-Briggs. So he's an introvert. He's more of a thinker than a feeler. Anyways, not to get too deep into that. But we definitely are both still fiery, passionate CEOs running $1 million companies. And so people would think that that would be license to kill. And it would be if we were really unhealthy. And this applies to pageants because you guys are going to be around so many different personalities. You're going to be around strong personalities. You're going to be around opposite personalities to you. And if you are trying to control the entire environment, the entire pageant, you're going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And the judges are going to notice it because somebody who's trying to control everything has such a wall up that you actually are not focusing on the connection, which is the whole point of the pageant. And so you're going to go through, and that's fine. Like, you controlled your hair and makeup, you controlled your walk, you controlled your fitness, you controlled your outfit. And then you go in and you memorize these answers and you thought that you had it perfect. You gave perfect answers and you had no idea that you were out of rapport with these people the entire time. And in the same way in marriage, I could be saying all the right things. Have you guys ever had a fake apology? So someone can be like, sorry, right? But the way that they say it and the fact that they're not really actively connecting with you makes you want to punch them in the face, and you feel like they just insulted you, even though they technically said all the right things. Can I get an amen? Okay. So this is the first problem and the first way that marriage and pageants are like. Ready for number 2? Put a 2 in the comments if you're ready for number 2. Okay. So problem number 2 is you think that performance builds confidence. Whew, this is good. Okay. So it's actually the opposite. So when your identity isn't set before the stage, every look from a judge, every slip up, every competitor can shake you. If your identity isn't rooted, it is actually vulnerable to sabotage. Now, let me tell you how this is in marriage. I don't know why I'm getting emotional right now. I feel like I cry every week, you guys. That's why, like, if you see an Enneagram 8 and you think that they're, can we be frank, kind of the B word a little bit. I promise we have these gooey hearts on the inside that just are really just squishy, okay? So just don't betray us, okay? Don't try and control Enneagram 8s and betray us, because it actually hurts really bad, even if we put on a strong front, okay? Anyways, okay, so if your identity isn't rooted, it's vulnerable to sabotage. This is so true in a marriage, okay? My husband and I had a little spat in the car yesterday that was like 2 minutes long, and it was totally my fault. And one thing that I hate in my personality type, that is frankly just like an insecurity that I'm getting over, is when somebody makes me feel stupid. And that's even the wrong language, because no one can make you feel anything. When something happens that makes me feel stupid, that makes me have thoughts of feeling stupid, which then create the emotion of feeling stupid, right? So it's my choice to feel stupid. It's my choice to let those thoughts run rampant in my head. It's my choice to let that story roll, mentally rehearse in my mind until I could tell you every single word of that movie, because it's been replaying thousands of times in my head. Because about 80%, some say 90% of your thoughts every single day. So how does this apply to marriage? Well, my husband was so graciously, he's been working so incredibly hard, and he came up to me the other day and he was like, babe, I want to pay to redo our kitchen. He's going to pay the whole thing. Our money is together, but still, like, it's coming from his business. He's working super, super hard. He knows that it's a desire of my heart, and he just like wanted to be kind and nice about it. So he's like, Jose's coming over tonight. He's going to give us a bid. He's going to do all these things, right? Like every woman's literal dream. This is my husband. He's the dream. Okay. He's the standard. And so I was like super excited, but also I had like 30 minutes and I was planning to go to the gym. And I was like, okay, I was kind of planning on you watching Willow before date night. And I'm with Willow all day. So when it hits like 5 or 6 o'clock and Lanning gets off work, like it's kind of nice. But I did not communicate I wanted to go to the gym. That's on me. So anyways, I'm like, so Jose comes over, he's giving us a bid, he's walking through the house, and in my brain, I'm like, I really wanted to go to the gym during this time. And then Landon asked me my opinion about something, because we're like, okay, phase 1, we're going to do this and we'll save up some more money. Then phase 2, we'll do this. Phase 3, we'll do this. And he asked my opinion about something in particular, about like these lights or something, like literally not a big deal at all. I made it way too big of a deal. And then he turns to me and he like immediately like kind of interjected and had like a different response, different direction. And then he was like, well, that's going to be $1,000. That's going to be multiple thousand. That's going to be multiple thousand. And in my mind, I'm like, don't say that in front of the guy, or he's going to like charge us more if you're saying that, right? And I just felt like he cut me off, and I felt like I felt exposed. I felt stupid, which is like just again my personality type. I don't like that because it's hard for me to like not take it as a criticism, which is totally not how he's at all like delivering it. But for me, it's bouncing off a part of my identity that I'm working on, right? So I gave him like a dirty look and then like walked over and like picked up Willow. And then we had to like talk about it later. He called me when I did go to the gym and he was like, "Hey, like why did you have a level 10 reaction?" And I was like, "I didn't have a level 10 reaction. That was a 4. I didn't even say anything." You know what I mean? I was like, "I'll show you a level 10 reaction." And so we talked it out and luckily we have such good communication at this point that I'm like, "Okay, this made me feel stupid. You know that's one of my triggers. I know you didn't intend that. And I know that he has positive intentions." So we're able to squash it in like 3 seconds because he doesn't really necessarily need to apologize because he didn't do anything wrong. But he knows that he needs to speak into my identity in that moment and be like, "Of course, I don't think you're stupid. I think you're brilliant. I'm so excited about this. I want you to be excited with me." And then it's just so beautiful because I can get to a place of where he feels safe again. And y'all didn't know you were getting therapy today. And we can build each other's identity back up, even in the acknowledging that, like, hey, I'm having a weak moment and this is totally a me issue and you didn't really do anything wrong, but I still like don't feel safe right now and I need to find a safe space. I need to go emotionally regulate, which is why I need to go to the gym. And so I did. And then he calls me and he's like, "You know what? I'm going to make you dinner. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a great night." And we've just learned how to squash things, right? Because even if that like devil on your shoulder is still like, "Be pissed off. Let this ruin your day. You're entitled. You're right. You're entitled to your emotions," right? Like you can be, but that's arguably stupid because now I'm choosing to put a barrier between me and someone else. And I'm actually choosing to stay stuck in that emotion and ruining my own day because of it, which has nothing to do with him. And so I grit my teeth and I just like swallowed it. I got over it. And then sometimes too, I'll tell him, "Hey, this is exactly what I need to hear from you right now." And we just committed to like whatever we need to do to squash it and build that person up. It's not about who's right. It's about like, how do I get this person back to feeling safe and neutral and ready to win? And because we do that for each other so often, our marriage is incredible. And it's not that you're not going to like run into stuff. Now, obviously, you may not process like that in a pageant. But I think it's important. It's so important to build that super strong foundation in everyday life because like crap's going to hit the fan, stuff's going to be out of your control. And if you let these tiny little foxes spoil the whole field, then the second a judge looks at you wrong or writes down something and then looks at the other judge, your reticular activating system is going to literally be looking for ways to tell you that you failed. And we can't do that. That is catastrophic in your pageant. Okay, let's move on to problem number 3. So problem number 3 is you're focused on impressing, not serving. So winners serve, the fake ones perform. And the difference is palpable, okay? It doesn't mean that you don't achieve. It does, I mean, again, stone cold killer when it comes to we are here to win, okay? But the way that you actually win, again, you take the bottom seat, Jesus elevates you to the highest seat, right? And it doesn't mean like Jesus wouldn't elevate somebody who couldn't handle it, right? So again, you're still working in private on your skillfulness, you're working on your communication skills. The 3 big things that you need to win your pageant: consistent communication, authentic actions, and the winner's identity. These are the 3 things that you have to have, okay? The opposites of those are weird behaviors, inconsistent communication or messaging, and wrong beliefs. And these 3 things will absolutely cannibalize your ability to win a pageant. You cannot win a pageant if these 3 things are in your way, okay? And in our course, Crown Ready, we literally we work from the inside out and we say, okay, we're going to start with how do we win the pageant? Do we know what the goal is? Do we know what it looks like, feels like, walks like, talks like? So we even know how to visualize this positive result and start acting as if I'm already the winner. Then what we need to do is we need to reverse engineer where we need to start on the roadmap. Which of these 3 things, so wrong belief, inconsistent communication, and weird behavior, where do I feel like is my biggest attack point that I need to sprint towards for 6 weeks? We do 6-week sprints. Which of these things do I need to conquer in the next 6 weeks? And if I were to just, get 10 or 15% better, you can do more than that. But if I were to get 15% better in just this side of the triangle, How much better do I think I'd do in my pageant? Okay, great. Then let's sprint towards it with super duper focus. And then we have 3 action steps for each of those. And then we have what are called like little satellites. They're little 3 to 5 minute videos with 1 action step in each to teach you exactly what to do. And this is what gets you into super quick, super fast, super effective, easy, and fun motion. They're not like watch 90-minute videos and you have to watch 17 of them before you actually do anything or get any results or get any momentum. Like the first thing that you actually do inside of Crown Ready, and I did a whole podcast episode on this and I'll continue to, is you use what's called one of our ChatGPT power-up bots, and it's called the Pageant Scheduler, the Pro Pageant Scheduler. What you do is you reverse engineer the amount of time that you have. In a week, 168 hours, you put in your non-negotiables, and it actually builds out a 6-week sprint pageant plan for you where you know exactly what to work on and when, so that there's no excuse, and all you have to do is keep your promises to yourself every day. Even if that's like, I got 30 minutes, 3 days a week. Great. Then it'll help you do that. It'll help you hold yourself accountable. And right away, you have that clarity as well as the inner conviction where you're like, ooh, now I know exactly what to do. And it just totally demystifies, gets rid of all that overwhelm, and it gets rid of the yuck of like, oh, it's pageant prep. This is so annoying. Okay. So Crown Ready is an incredible program. There's nothing ever like it that we've ever created before. And you guys can just click the link below to join. We have 2 different payment options for you to make it super easy and affordable for everyone. So go ahead and grab that. Okay. So rounding this out, winners serve, the fake ones perform. So in marriage, unfortunately, I have seen several couples that are married, and definitely ones that are dating that thank God didn't get married, that are constantly performing for each other. And they think that like they're trying to impress that person. So not that there's not like a wooing process of dating and, you know, continuing to date your spouse, like my husband calling me and being like, hey, I'm going to make you dinner. Like, what do you want? You know, that's great. That's awesome. It keeps the love alive, the friendship alive, the spice alive, all of that. But truly the most secure and confident people serve others. Now, again, the ditch on both sides, not serving or serving way too much that this is your entire identity and you have to bring gifts for everyone that you're like going into debt for because your entire identity is winning Miss Congeniality and making sure that people like you, and that's people pleasing, like we talked about in the beginning, okay? And that just is not the way that we're going to pageant prep this year, okay? Make a decision with me today. That's not the way that we're going to do it. So again, can I serve from a, like, I release. I serve my husband and I trust that he's going to serve me in return, okay? I'm not serving to get, I'm not serving to one-up somebody. I'm not serving to be noticed. I'm not serving for any other reason than this is my identity now. Like I'm here to serve. I'm here to have a great time. I'm secure in who I am. I'm got my ears open to listen, and I can listen to say like, what does this moment need? What does this person need? Like, how should I connect with this judge? And it's peaceful. And it's this strong, relaxed leadership presence that's like impossible to not want to be around. It's magnetic. It's like intoxicating. I got the coolest compliment 2 days ago. We were talking with our friend who we helped build a $1.5 million plumbing business in like 2 years, and from zero. And he was like, when I met you guys were just intoxicating. And I was like, what a funny word for like, you know, a plumber to say. And he was like, there's just something about you and Landon that just like draws me in and makes me want to be around you guys. And I think it's a couple things. It's one, like whenever we talk to him, we're here to serve him. We're there to listen. But also it's that like relaxed leadership where I'm like, I know my boundaries. I know how I walk into a room. I know what I deserve. I know I'm just comfortable. I know who I am in Christ, and like I don't have to prove or defend anything, right? So here's the shift that I made that you can make today, your big takeaway. I stopped prepping to be impressive and I started prepping to be aligned. I began asking like, who am I becoming when I prep? Am I peaceful or pressured? Am I proving something, or am I walking out my purpose? When people get exhausted, it's not actually because they shouldn't be doing something. It's because they have lost the purpose of doing something. So people don't get burnt out when they know that their actions are aligned with a greater purpose. This is why in a video you guys might have seen last week or the week before, and I'll tag it below, when we're talking about the overall journey of a pageant queen, winning your pageant, remember that line that I always draw? Winning your pageant is actually the first stop on the train stop, not the final stop. And I need you guys to start thinking that way. There is another, hopefully, 80 years of your life after you win this pageant, and you guys are treating it like it's the end destination. And all that does is it creates a lack of peace, it creates pressure, it creates problems, and it creates people pleasing, because literally you're like hanging by a thread that if you don't win this thing, it's like, I don't even know what my life is going to look like in the future. And your mind's just spiraling because you're not anchored to something other than this win, okay? So, if you're tired of prepping from this place of pressure and this pressure cooker where you go, psst, and you're about to just pop off any second, and you want peace, you want to have that intoxicating, magnetic, comfortable presence and power every single time you step on stage, then Crown Ready is absolutely your next step. It's the only pageant prep system built around your mindset, identity, platform, presence, peace, and we use strategy to be tactical and effective quickly and easily in every area of pageant, okay? So if you want to prep like a queen and still feel like you, or even meet this next version of who you are, then click below. You guys can grab this amazing course. You guys can get started today, and I can't wait to see you on the inside. So with that, I'll see you guys next week.